Hey there. Welcome back. We're tackling a topic today that could make a big difference to your retirement income.
It could.
Especially if one spouse made a lot more than the other.
Mm-hmm.
Social Security spousal benefits.
It's true.
So before we get into it,
Yeah.
if you're finding this kind of information useful,
Mm-hmm.
hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes.
Spousal benefits can be a real game changer,
Yeah.
but a lot of people don't quite understand them.
Okay, so let's break it down.
Okay.
What exactly are we talking about when we say spousal benefits?
Well, in the simplest terms,
Yeah.
it's a way for someone to get Social Security payments
Uh-huh.
based on their spouse's work history,
Right.
even if they themselves didn't work that much or earned a lower salary.
Okay.
It's all about fairness.
So it's not just for couples where one person stayed home the whole time.
No, not at all.
Okay.
It applies even if both spouses worked, but one made a lot more than the other.
I see.
Like imagine one spouse worked part-time for a lot of their career.
Yeah.
Or maybe took time off to raise kids.
Right.
Spousal benefits can help make up that difference in retirement.
Got it.
Yeah.
So say someone is listening and thinking, hey, this might be me.
Uh-huh.
What do you have to do to qualify for these benefits?
Well, there's three main things.
Okay.
First, your spouse needs to already be getting their own Social Security retirement or disability benefits.
Okay.
It's not something you can claim while they're still working.
Makes sense.
Right.
So it's not about claiming early. It's about your spouse's benefit being the basis for yours.
Exactly.
What's the second thing?
You need to have been married for at least a year.
Okay, so no quickie marriages just to get a benefit boost. What's the last thing?
You need to be at least 62 years old.
Got it.
That's the minimum age to start getting any Social Security benefits.
Okay, so now for the big question everyone wants to know. How much can you actually get through these spousal benefits?
Right?
Is it a set amount or does it change?
It does change, but you're usually looking at between 32% and 50% of your spouse's full benefit.
Okay, so a potentially big chunk of change, but not just one number.
Right.
It depends.
And the exact amount depends a lot on when you decide to start taking those benefits.
I see.
Which brings us to the whole question of claiming early versus waiting.
Right. That's a big decision for anyone planning their retirement, and we've actually talked about that in some previous episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those of you listening, have you thought about when you want to start claiming? What are you thinking about?
Yeah.
And if you're finding this information helpful so far,
Yeah.
leave us a like and share your thoughts in the comments below.
We love hearing from you guys.
Okay, so let's get into some of the nitty-gritty.
Okay.
What are some key things about spousal benefits everyone needs to know?
Well, there are four main things.
Let's hear them.
The first is that you claiming spousal benefits won't affect your spouse's payments at all.
Oh,
They'll keep getting their full amount.
so it's not like you're taking a piece of their pie
No, not at all.
to make yours bigger?
Right. The second thing is that if you claim before your full retirement age
Okay.
and you're still working, your benefits could be less.
Oh, I see. So there's a possible downside if you claim early and are still working.
Yeah.
Could you explain full retirement age in case someone doesn't know what that is?
Sure.
Yeah.
Your full retirement age is the age when you can get 100% of your benefits based on how much you worked.
Okay.
It changes a bit depending on when you were born.
Right.
But for most people these days, it's somewhere between 66 and 67.
Okay.
If you claim earlier, your monthly checks will be smaller.
Got it. So full retirement age is super important in figuring out how much you'll get.
Exactly.
What's the third thing?
Social Security will always give you the higher amount,
Okay.
either your own retirement benefit based on what you earned
Yeah.
or the spousal benefit.
Okay. So you get the better deal,
Okay.
whichever is higher, but not both added together.
You got it.
No double dipping. Makes sense.
The fourth and final thing is
Okay.
even if you're divorced, you could still get benefits based on your ex-spouse's earnings.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
You can get benefits based on an ex even after you've split up?
Yes, but there are a few conditions. You have to have been married at least 10 years
Okay.
and be single now,
All right.
and you still need to be at least 62 to claim.
That's really important for people who are getting close to retirement after a divorce and haven't thought about this.
Right.
Now, when would claiming spousal benefits not be the best move?
That's a great question.
Are there any times when it would be better to claim your own benefits?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
One scenario is if you have a strong work history
Yeah.
and you'd get a good benefit based on your own earnings.
So you're saying it's not always about just going for the biggest number next to your spouse's name.
Right.
There's more to it.
There's more to it.
I see.
Like, say you'd be entitled to $2,000 a month at full retirement age based on your own work, but your spouse's benefit is a lot higher, and your potential spousal benefit would be $1,500. In that case, it makes more sense to claim your own.
That makes sense. Seeing those numbers really helps.
Yeah.
What other situations might make sticking with your own benefits better?
Well, another thing to think about is whether you're going to keep working while you're getting Social Security.
Oh, right.
Remember those reductions we talked about?
Yeah.
If you claim early and you're earning too much, your benefit can be temporarily reduced.
So working and claiming early can kind of work against each other.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
And those earnings limits, which change every year, only apply until you reach your full retirement age.
Okay.
Once you hit that, you can earn as much as you want without affecting your benefits.
This is where it starts to get complicated.
It is.
There's a lot to consider.
There is a lot to consider.
Right.
That's why doing your research and maybe even talking to a financial advisor can be really helpful.
Yeah.
They can help you figure out different scenarios based on your own situation.
I've heard of some other strategies like filing a restricted application. What's that all about?
Yeah, there are some more advanced things that some couples can do.
Okay.
A restricted application lets someone who's reached their full retirement age to claim only the spousal benefit and let their own benefits keep growing.
So you're basically putting your own benefits on hold to get more later on.
That's it.
I see.
Every year you wait to claim your own benefits past your full retirement age, your benefit goes up by 8%.
Wow.
That can really add up.
Yeah, that's a lot. But are there any downsides? I bet there were some strict rules.
Yeah, there are a few requirements.
Okay.
The most important one is that you have to have reached your full retirement age to use it.
Got it.
And it's usually only a good idea for couples where there's a big difference in how much each spouse earned.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is where expert advice can really help
Definitely.
to see if this kind of thing is right for you.
Exactly.
So let's talk about another important thing.
Okay.
Divorce.
Right.
We mentioned it before, but let's go into more detail. You said you can sometimes still get benefits based on an ex's work history,
Right.
even if you've remarried.
Yeah, that's a really important point,
Yeah.
especially for people figuring out retirement after a divorce.
Yeah.
Even if you've moved on, your past marriage could still affect your finances.
Okay. Tell me more.
Sure.
What are the key things someone who is divorced needs to know about spousal benefits?
The first thing is you have to have been married for at least 10 years to qualify.
Okay.
It's a hard and fast rule.
So 9 years and 11 months doesn't count.
Nope. You need to hit that 10-year mark.
Okay.
The second thing is you need to be single now to get those benefits.
Well,
If you get remarried, the spousal benefits from your ex stop.
so if you remarry, those benefits go away, but what happens if that marriage ends, like through divorce or if your spouse passes away?
Mm-hmm.
Could you get those benefits based on your ex again?
Yes, exactly.
unlikely.
Things change.
Right.
And Social Security tries to keep up with those changes. And the final thing is that you claiming a benefit on your ex's record doesn't change their benefit
Oh, okay.
or the benefits of their current spouse if they have one.
That's good to know. I bet a lot of people wonder if they'd be affecting their ex or their ex's new partner
Yeah.
by doing this.
It's a common concern.
Yeah.
It's important to remember that your spousal benefits, whether from a current spouse or an ex, are separate.
Right.
You're not taking anything away from anyone else.
So let's say you're divorced and thinking about claiming a spousal benefit based on your ex's earnings.
Okay.
What should you be thinking about?
Well, similar to what we talked about earlier, you want to compare how much you could get from the spousal benefit to how much you'd get from your own work history.
Right. So see which one would give you more money.
Exactly.
What else should people be thinking about?
You also need to think about your age and whether you're going to keep working.
Yeah.
Remember those earnings limits.
Yeah.
If you claim early and you're still working, it could change your benefit amount.
It's like trying to walk a tightrope to find the best way to do things.
It is a balancing act,
Yeah.
but it's a balance worth figuring out.
Right.
Understanding how all this works, especially with divorce,
Yeah.
can really make a difference to your retirement income.
It seems like a lot of people might be missing out if they don't know about all this,
Yeah.
which is why we're talking about it today. It's all about giving you the knowledge to make good choices.
That's right.
Before we move on,
Yeah.
if you're liking this, hit that like button. We appreciate your support.
We do?
Now let's move on to another important part.
Okay.
Survivor benefits.
Ah, Yes.
This is something that people often don't think about.
They don't.
But it's so important for protecting your loved ones if something happens.
It is.
All right, so lay it on me. What are survivor benefits, and how do they connect to spousal benefits?
Survivor benefits are payments that can go to the spouse or kids of a worker who's passed away if they earned enough Social Security credits while they were working.
So it's a way for families to keep getting some financial support even after they've lost someone.
Exactly.
Oh.
Think of it as a safety net to help families with the costs of losing a breadwinner.
I can see how important that would be.
Yes.
Especially if a family was already depending on that income.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And here's where the connection to spousal benefits comes in.
Okay.
The amount of the survivor benefit often depends on the deceased worker's full retirement benefit.
So if a spouse was already getting spousal benefits, what happens after the worker passes away?
Right.
Do those benefits just keep going?
Well, it's not that they just keep going.
Right.
In most cases, they switch from getting spousal benefits to survivor benefits.
I see.
And the amount is adjusted.
Okay.
Usually the survivor benefit is higher.
So it's not about losing benefits.
Right.
It's more like the type of benefit changes.
Exactly.
But those payments keep supporting the family.
That's the idea. It's like an extension of the worker's Social Security benefits.
Yeah.
Just redirected to their family.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It helps to see how it all fits together.
What happens if the surviving spouse is younger than the full retirement age, though?
Yeah.
Do they still qualify?
Do they?
Yes, they can still qualify.
Okay.
But just like with other parts of Social Security, the amount might be lower.
Okay.
It depends on their age and other things.
It seems like age and earnings limits are always part of the equation.
They are. It is a web of rules, but once you get the main ideas, it starts to make more sense.
So if you could give our listeners one key takeaway about survivor benefits, what would it be?
The most important thing is to know that it exists.
Yeah.
And could really help you and your loved ones financially if something happens.
Okay.
It's like having a safety net for your family's future.
It's about peace of mind knowing that you have that protection.
Exactly.
Now, we've talked about a lot today.
We have.
Spousal benefits, survivor benefits, the whole shebang.
The whole thing.
But before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I want to talk about something else we hear a lot from listeners.
Okay.
Especially since a lot of people are finding love later in life. What happens to Social Security if you get remarried?
The remarriage question. It comes up all the time.
It does.
And the answer, as with a lot of things about Social Security, is it depends.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Tell me.
Okay. So if you're getting spousal benefits from your ex and you remarry, those spousal benefits usually stop.
So getting remarried can directly change how much you get from Social Security.
It can.
Okay.
But there are exceptions.
Okay.
If you remarry after age 60 or after age 50 if you're disabled, you can usually keep getting those spousal benefits from your ex.
So there's some wiggle room for people who find love later in life.
Exactly.
Social Security knows that life isn't always straightforward.
It isn't.
And the rules try to account for that.
What if you were getting survivor benefits based on a deceased spouse?
Right.
And you decide to get remarried?
Yeah.
Does that change things too?
It's like a dance trying to figure out how marriage and remarriage affect your Social Security.
It is a bit of a dance.
It sounds like it's always a good idea to get advice from the Social Security Administration or a financial advisor if you're not sure how your situation might be affected by getting married or remarried.
Exactly.
It's like having a translator to help you with all the complicated parts of Social Security.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
It's about finding someone you trust to help you through it all.
Okay, so before we wrap up this part of our conversation,
I
want to leave our listeners with something to think about.
Okay.
Have you included Social Security benefits, like possible spousal or survivor benefits, in your overall retirement plan?
That's an important question, and one that we'll talk about more in part 3.
Stay tuned.
All right. Welcome back to our discussion of Social Security and spousal benefits.
It's great to be back.
We've been covering a lot of ground, from who qualifies to how divorce and remarriage can affect things.
Right. And before we took a break, we left our listeners with a big question. Have you really thought about how Social Security fits into your overall retirement plan?
Yeah, a lot of people just focus on that individual benefit amount, but they don't always think about how those benefits work with their other retirement income, like pensions or 401ks.
Right. It's all about making sure everything works together.
Exactly. And for a lot of couples, spousal benefits can be a key part of that.
So let's talk strategy.
Okay.
What are some smart moves couples can make to get the most out of their Social Security, thinking about spousal benefits?
One common strategy is for the higher earner to wait until age 70 to start claiming.
Oh, yeah, the good old delay to increase your benefit trick.
Exactly. By waiting, they rack up those delayed retirement credits, which can really boost their monthly checks. And remember, a spousal benefit is based on the worker's benefit, so that increase helps the spouse too.
So everyone wins.
It's a team effort.
I like it. Now, we mentioned this before, but it's worth repeating.
What's that?
Claiming a spousal benefit doesn't make the worker's benefit any smaller.
That's a really important point. It's a completely separate benefit.
So it's not like one person is losing out so the other can gain.
Nope. It's about working together to find the best strategy for both of you.
Man, I'm starting to feel like a Social Security expert myself.
That's what we like to hear.
So for our listeners who are ready to dive in and start planning, what resources are out there to help them through the process?
The Social Security website is a great place to start.
Yeah, I've heard that's a good one.
You can make an account, see your earnings record, get estimates of your future benefits, even apply for benefits online.
It's like having Social Security right there on your computer.
Exactly. You can also call them directly or visit a local office if you prefer to talk to someone in person.
It's good to have those options.
And don't forget about financial advisors.
Right.
They can help you put together a whole retirement plan that includes your Social Security, other income sources, and your overall goals.
It's like having a personal guide for all that financial stuff.
Exactly.
It's about finding someone you trust to help you make sense of it all.
All right, well, we've come to the end of our deep dive into Social Security spousal benefits.
It's been a great conversation.
It has.
So as we wrap things up, what's the most important thing you want our listeners to remember?
I'd say the biggest takeaway is that knowledge is power when it comes to Social Security.
Couldn't agree more. The more you know about how spousal benefits work, the better decisions you can make for your retirement.
Exactly. Don't leave money on the table. Take the time to learn about your options, explore different strategies, and get advice from people you trust.
Great advice.
And remember, we're always here to help make these complicated topics easier to understand and help you make informed financial decisions.
So if you like this episode, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any future conversations.
And don't forget to give us a like if you found this helpful.
We really appreciate your support.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Until next time, stay curious and keep learning. Welcome back to the last part of our talk about Social Security and spousal benefits.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
From who can get these benefits to how divorce and remarriage change things.
Yeah, and right before we took a break, we asked our listeners a big question.
Right.
Have you really factored in Social Security, including these spousal benefits and survivor benefits we talked about, into your whole retirement plan?
It's something a lot of people forget to do.
Right.
They just look at that number, their benefit amount,
right,
but they don't always think about how it all works together with their other retirement income, like pensions or 401ks.
Yeah, it's like putting together a big financial puzzle.
Exactly.
Make sure all the pieces fit.
And for a lot of couples, spousal benefits are a really important piece of that puzzle.
Okay, so let's get strategic.
Right.
What are some smart things couples can do to get the most out of their Social Security?
Okay.
Especially considering these spousal benefits.
Well, one strategy a lot of couples use is for the higher earner to wait until they're 70 to start claiming.
Oh, yeah. The wait to get a bigger check strategy.
Exactly.
Look at that.
By waiting, they earn those delayed retirement credits, which can really increase their monthly payment.
Yeah.
And don't forget,
what's that?
A spousal benefit is based on the worker's benefit.
Right.
So that increase helps the spouse too.
So it's a win-win.
Absolutely a team effort.
I like it. Now, I know we've said this before, but it's so important.
It is.
That claiming a spousal benefit doesn't take anything away from the worker's benefit.
That's a crucial point.
Right.
It's a completely separate benefit.
Okay, so it's not like robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Nope, not at all. It's about working together to find what works best for both people.
I'm feeling pretty savvy about Social Security now.
That's great to hear.
So for our listeners who are ready to get started with their planning, what resources would you recommend?
The Social Security website is a great place to start.
Okay.
You can create an account, see your earnings record, get estimates of your future benefits, even apply for benefits online.
Wow. So it's like a one-stop shop.
It is.
For all things Social Security.
You can also call them or visit a local office if you want to talk to someone in person.
Got it. It's great to have those options.
And don't forget about financial advisors.
Oh, right.
They can help you create a plan for your whole retirement. That includes your Social Security, other income, and your goals.
It's like having a coach for your finances.
Exactly. Someone to guide you through those big decisions.
Yeah. Okay, so we've come to the end of our deep dive on Social Security spousal benefits.
It's been fun.
It has.
Talking about all this.
What's the most important thing you want our listeners to take away from our conversation?
The most important thing is to remember that knowing your stuff is super important when it comes to Social Security.
We've definitely emphasized that today.
The more you know about spousal benefits, the better choices you'll be able to make.
Yeah.
That could really affect your financial well-being in retirement.
Don't leave money on the table.
Exactly.
Right.
Take the time to learn, explore your options.
Yeah.
Get advice from people you trust.
Great advice.
And remember, we're always here to help you understand these complicated topics.
Yes.
And make informed financial decisions.
So if you liked today's episode, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any future ones.
And don't forget to give us a like if you found this helpful.
We really appreciate your support.
Thanks for joining us.
Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.